Hey, thanks for joining me today. Today I just want to talk about something that I found in my life was kind of so subtle that I didn't recognize how much I was leaning into it, how much I was getting from it at different points in my life. Sometimes we just do things to make us feel better and we find ways to get our needs met. And the one I'm going to talk to you today about is something I used and didn't realize it, didn't recognize it. I'll put it that way. But it gave me something in return. And so that's what we need to realize. Anytime we're using something on a regular basis, we're getting something out of that. And one of the things that I want you to recognize, especially for this new year, is that for me, I had a place that I was getting stuck in life. I had so much going on and come through a lot of different things that happened in my life and some losses and some things that I questioned about what was going on and what I was trying to make sense of it, but with that same desire to make sense of it, I found that other people were listening to what I was talking about, trying to find the answers. And it developed in my life to something that is called self pity. So before long, I got people listening to me. I got them, um, you know, their compassion, and they were empathizing with me and realizing that, oh my goodness, that's got to hurt. And so it kept me stuck and I didn't move forward. And self pity just keeps replaying what's happened in our life. It feels comforting, but it drains our strength. It turns this happened to me into this is who I am. And before long, we just feel less than. And even though it's like a Linus blanket and comforting us in a way, it whispers, they should have been better. They should have treated me this way. And, that these places in our life, the places in our life that we feel others should have met a certain criteria that we felt that we deserved for that, or for, they didn't recognize, or people in our life don't recognize how much we're doing or how much we're putting out, or what, you know, this can lead us to lean towards self pity. It can lead us to wanting to somebody to care and feel like, pat us on the back and say, oh my goodness, you've done so good. And before long, if we're really needy, get that word needy, then we will start going back and doing the same thing over because it is bringing us what we're looking for. So that's what I want to ask you today is think about that in your life. If you're using that, and all of us can get into it. It's not something that, you have to be this or that. Self-pity is pretty easy to fall into because it helps soothe our desire in life to feel like somebody's listened, or they understand. And really that using self-pity over and over in our life becomes something that we start identifying with, oh, I am less than, and this always happens to me, and we keep rehearsing the hurt, and we won't heal as long as we keep rehearsing the hurt. And why me? Those things are, we feel that pain, and we're not required to live in self-pity though, because that will keep us stuck. You don't want, it's not that you'll never feel like, gosh, I wish somebody would recognize what I'm doing here, or look what all I've been through. But it's the fact that we don't want to camp out there. We don't want to live there. We don't want to stay stuck in that place. We want to move on and to do that, we have to heal. We have to decide we're going to move forward. We have to make sure that we want to go on in our life and see the good things. So flip the script, you know, recognize, and this is really what this is about today, is just awareness, because it was so subtle in my life. I didn't realize that I became pretty attached to complaining and looking at others and blaming and those things that help self-pity so close to me that I used it through my life in this certain area of my and time of my life. But once you realize, when you flip the script, you're looking at what you have, not what you've lost, not where you've been hurt. You know, there's no one in on the earth that has loss or had hurt. All of us have. And so it's up to us to decide we're going to look at the things we have and not the things we've lost. And that is an intentional design. You have to decide, I did have that and that did hurt. But look what I have here. And so we look to gratitude. We look and find the things that really do matter the most in our life. And we do that because as we look to the things we have, then we start realizing that we are so blessed of God. And I'm not saying everything is easy. I'm saying it's doable and it's intentional. And I'm just encouraging you today, recognize if you lean towards self-pity like I did, or you're ready to flip the script. God bless. Thank you for joining.